Okay, so today, first of all, we are going to learn how to use a text editor in Linux operating system. So how many of you already have an idea about the VI text editor? VI. Anyone?
Yeah, I think I do.
Okay. Can you, can you help us understand? How does it work? I mean, how do you save it? How do you write inside the file?
So if you want to write inside if you want to like write something, you use the VI editor. You know,
Okay.
you just put Vim or you just put VI and then you click enter. It's gonna give you a page that comes up, and then you use the to start writing anything. You use the shebang command.
Shebang. Okay. Yeah, that's nice. So today we are going to understand that only, that how can we use all these things. So just give me a second. So before jumping into the Linux, just a second. Second. I'll log in.
I can't see your screen, sir.
Sorry.
Your screen.
Yeah, I know. Just a second. I'm just logging into AWS. Then
Okay.
I'll start my instance and then I'll share my screen. Just a second. Okay. I hope you guys are able to see my screen.
Okay.
Are you guys able to see the whiteboard?
Yes.
Okay. So what I want to tell you guys is that first of all, we are going to use a VI text editor. VI. Okay. Or you can say VI text editor also, and there is a Vim also. That's the upgraded version of VI text editor. VIM. Okay. So now, if you have to create a file, let's say what? Okay. First of all, I would like you guys to answer this question. If anyone can answer. What is the difference between file and a folder?
File and a folder. A folder is like a directory.
Okay.
A file is stored in a directory.
Okay. So I mean, what is the basic difference between both of them? Anyone? Nana, Joseph, anyone?
I think you can put a file into a folder, but not the other way around.
Okay, okay. I'm writing two things here.
A folder hold one or more files and contain one or more files.
Okay. So which one is the folder? Which one is the file?
The one
Joseph,
ending with
Nana, please
the
take.
one ending with .txt is a file. That's a text file. Why
The other one
the first one is a folder.
is a folder.
Okay. So how did you identify?
The ending. I saw the ending, the .txt. Anything with a dot, it's a file.
Yes. So that's known as extension. Anything which contains or consists of any extension. So that is known as we can say file. So these are the file extensions. That could be like there could be this extension, there could be this extension, so there could be this
TXT.
extension, right? So there could be this extension. So these are the different types of, we can say, extensions which will help us to, right, differentiate between the file and a folder, right? Now, what is the benefit of using a text editor? Why do we have to use a text editor? Because even when we are using a Linux operating system, right, we have to make sure that we are able to write something inside it, right? Or we can create files, text file, we can write scripts, we can create Python code, we can do, I mean, whatever we can or whatever we want, right? So as I've said, VI and VIM, okay, these are the, we can say, powerful editors which we are going to use, text editors which we are going to use. Now, before moving directly into the practical, I would like to explain, and I want you guys to pay attention because I know this is going to like get you guys get confused. First of all, how do you open and exit? We will learn open and exit. How can you open and exit from this particular file? Anyone who wants to give the name, let's suppose I want to create class.txt file. Okay, now I want to create this particular file. So what I will do, so it means I want to create a file. It is not already there, so I will use vi class.txt. So when I open this, right, open this particular file, so this will be the file name. It will create a file name like this, class.txt. Now I have opened it, right? Now there are two modes in the vi text editor, right? So side by side, I would like to explain just a second in the practical also. Wait a minute. What's this happening? I hope you guys are able to see my terminal. Are you able to see the terminal?
Not yet.
Now can you see the terminal?
Yes. Okay. Okay. It can disappear.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So to check on what location I am in right now, so I will say ls. Okay. So not the location, what files are here. So these are the types of files. So first of all, what I want to do, I don't want to create files here. I want to create a folder in which I can store multiple files. So I have to create a folder, let's say files, with the name of files, a folder. So how do I create a folder, everyone?
mkdir, sudo mkdir, then define name. I mean folder name. Files.
Okay, so who is going to tell me that this command will work fine? There is no need of sudo. How?
I mentioned sudo.
No, you don't need sudo. Here, see, I have created the folder file because I am in the location of pwd. Okay, so if I do pwd, I'm in the location of ec2-user, and this is also the same user I've logged in through. So this user has permissions on its home directory. You don't need sudo. You don't need any root functions to perform here. I mean, creating a text file or whatever you have to do. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Let's clear the screen. Now let's create a file. Vi class.txt. Okay. So now here there are two modes. There is insert mode where you going to write here whatever information, and here is the console mode where you are going to save and exit from the file. So to go in, I mean to start writing, first of all you have to press I for ice cream. to go inside an insert mode. So here you can see on the console, it is written insert. So now I can say, hi, I am Harsh. Okay. So now when you are done writing in the code and you're done writing into the file, now what do you want? You want to save and exit from the file. So to save and exit, you have to go to the console mode first. So to go into the console mode, you will hit escape button on your keyboard. I hit escape. Now, okay, you will say, Harsh, is it saved? No, we are out of insert mode. Now we have to give some instructions to save and exit from this file. So let's say I do colon W and I hit enter. It means the file is saved, right? 14 bits has been written, one line, okay? If I say colon and Q and I hit enter, so I get exit. First I saved the file and then I got exited from the file. So how we were reading from a file yesterday? I told you guys one command that is similar to an animal name. How can I read data from this particular file?
Cat.
Use the
Cat.
commands.
Okay.
CAT.
So I'll say, okay, I'll say cat class.txt.
Class.txt. Yeah.
Okay. What is this? It is showing the information, whatever we have written, right? Now, if I have to open the file again,
VI.
I'll do vi, I'll do class.txt. Okay. Now, how do I go to the insert mode?
Escape I.
Not escape I. To go inside, we can say,
Just hit I.
go into the insert
I.
mode, you say I. Okay. So you will say I. Okay. Now, let's suppose here your mouse won't be working. If you click here, if you click there, it won't work. You have to use the keyboard up arrow and down arrow keys only, right? So let's say if I go like this, right? Or either I can use something which will help me understand that how can I actually go to this particular line. Okay. So any shortcuts won't be working in the insert mode. So what's okay? Let's not get confused first. Let's suppose if I have to add a new line, what I'll do, I'll go in the last, I'll hit enter, and there will be a new line. So here I would like to say, hey, okay, random text. But this is the information. I don't want to save this information. So first question is, I have to exit from this insert mode. What should I do?
Colon Q.
No. I'm saying I want to go out of this insert mode. I want to move into the console mode.
You say you're not saving it, so you'll not use colon W. So I
No,
will
that I
use.
understand. So insert mode allows you to insert into a file. Console mode allows you to write commands here, the colon WQ, colon Q. So first of all, you have to hit escape to close the insert mode session. Okay,
Okay.
escape. Now the insert mode, I can't write anything. You see, if I'm pressing also something, it's not writing anything. But if I press I and then it will start writing. So to get out of that insert mode, I have to hit escape. Okay. Once I hit escape, now this time I have by mistake written this data. I don't want to save it. For that, I will say colon Q and exclamation mark. That save without saving exit from this file. Okay. So without saving exit from the file. Okay. Yes. So now what I'll do is I'll cat again from the class.txt. So I see that data did not got saved. I have this much data only. Okay. Now I want to go into the insert mode. What should I do, Ajudeen?
I.
I have to say I. Joseph, it's fine if you won't write also. I will share the notes. I will share the notes. I will create it right now only. In a while, I will share it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So now I will press I to go inside the insert mode. Now let's say I want to write something, but let's suppose that this was a very big line. Let's imagine like this. Hi Harsh, how are you? And how is your class going? Please tell me. Okay. So now from here to here, if I have to go, so I have to use this left arrow key. So I have to go like this. It takes a lot of time. See how slow this process is. So instead of doing this, what things I can do? I can use some shortcuts. So to use any sort of shortcut, you have to go into the console mode. Insert mode when you're writing into the file. Console mode when you're using shortcuts, when you're giving instructions to save the file, for exit from the file. Okay. Okay, so I hit escape, and I want to move to the last this area from here to here. So I have to just use the dollar symbol. See, I'm in the last of the line. Now, if I have to move in the first of starting of the line, I will press 0. To go in the last, I'll press shift and 4 because on that particular location I have this dollar, and then I press 0. So I go in the starting of the line. Okay. Now let's say I'm on the high, right? I want to move here. So on the next word's first letter, right? So in that particular condition, what I can use the W. You see, W. So on every next word, it's moving. Okay. Now if I want to move to the starting of the line, it's 0. How many of you have understood?
How do you move to the end of the line?
Sorry,
The end of the line.
Dollar sign.
dollar.
Use the dollar sign.
Shift
Dollar.
4.
Yeah, shift 4. That's dollar. And if you press 0, that's beginning of the line.
Of the line.
Okay. Now let's say there are multiple lines. Okay, there are multiple lines here. Okay. Now, first of all, my job is to move to the first line. So I'll first of all hit escape, go to the console mode, and hit some shortcut. See, I'm in the first line. Now again, Harsh, I want to move to the last line. See, first line, last line. So to move from the last line or any line to first line, let's suppose that if you're here and if you want to move to the first line, so you will just press G for 2 times. G, small g. And when you hit shift, hold the shift and hit the G button. So it means capital G. When you press capital G, it will take you in the last of the line, in the last line. Hope you guys have understood. Okay, so just a second. Just a second. Zero dollar WB. Okay, so I've pasted here. Okay, just a second. I'll paste how to go into the insert mode also. First of all, insert. Okay, so I've shared all the files. Just a second. I'll paste it into the WhatsApp as well so that everybody can take reference from this one. Okay. Anyone has any sort of confusion? Anyone? Tajuddin, Weasley, George. Okay. So if I have to exit without saving, so I'm already into the console mode. I'll press colon Q exclamation. That will take me out of that particular location. Right? Okay. Now, what do you want to do? Is I want you guys to practice this. So who would like to share their screen? Anyone? Joseph, will you be able to share your screen?
Yes.
Okay. So, Leslie, Nana, and Tajuddin, can you guys, practice whatever we have studied? Nana, do you understand all these VI commands?
Yeah, for me, I think I'm good with it. I can practice it.
Okay, that's fine. But okay, let's suppose I will ask questions. The Joseph will write it, but you guys have to tell me the answers. Okay. Can you clear? Okay. First of all, create a folder with the name files. Yeah. Now move inside the files. Go to this folder.
VI class files.
Yeah, CD file. No, 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 no. This is a folder. So I
Folder,
want to
yeah. So
move inside the folder.
it's CD.
CD space files. Hit enter. Now type pwd. Okay. Now here I want you to create a text file. But wait a minute. Okay. So this question is to Tajuddin. Tajuddin, if he
Yeah.
wants to create a file, a text file, so what he will write?
If you want to do what, please come again.
If he wants to create a text file, let's say class.txt. So what command he should run first?
BI.
Okay, that's nice. Vi and then the name of the file, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So there are two modes. Can you tell me there are two modes? What two modes are?
Insert and console mode.
Okay, insert and console mode. So if he have to move to the insert mode, what he will do?
Press I.
Okay, so he pressed I already. Now can you start typing something, Joseph? Yeah. So okay. So what is this happening? You see, this is some
Cool.
weird thing happening. Okay. So press escape, escape, hit escape,
I did.
and press colon W key, Q, hit escape. Okay. So you see, now do the cat. See, you created files, but you had to give an extension. If you want to specify that, okay, this is a text file, so you had to write files.txt. But right now, it
Got
will
it.
treat the text file because it also automatically detects if you open anything with VI. Yeah, hit enter. You see, we are learning Linux tonight. But what's the problem? When you're writing, it shows very weird thing, right? It's not properly writing. Maybe there is a problem of, we can say VI. Just type VIM, vim, space, files, enter. Now go to the insert mode. Yeah, type something. First of all, hit backspace. You see, in here also, just yeah. If you start writing,
Yep. Same thing.
yes. So you see, in some of the Linux versions, it will act weirdly, right? Because the version is like not clear or something like that. Some problems happens, right? So we don't have to worry about that. We will see how to fix it later on. But if you are using your VMware workstation or anything, you won't face any problem in using the VI text editor. Okay.
Okay.
So now press escape colon Q and exit. Save without sorry, quit without saving. Escape colon Q and colon Q, and after that you have to put the exclamation mark as well. Okay. So now in this condition, if Joseph has to write something into files and everything like that, right? So what he will do for like we can say for writing into the file, there are multiple text editors available, right? So now how can I use other text editor or what other text editors are available? Anyone who has any idea?
We have the nano.
Okay, none. That's correct. So now let's suppose Joseph wants to create a new file. Joseph, can you type nano NANO? Yeah, space. Now you just type students.txt. Hit enter. Okay. So here you don't have to go to insert mode or anything like that. You can directly start writing. Okay. Joseph, can you start writing? Okay. Now hit enter and press. I mean, type more commands. Yes. Now let's say Joseph wants to save it, right? Just a minute, I will paste into the group as well. So now, if he want to save and exit, he will press Control X. Can you press Control X on your keyboard? Hold the Control button and press X. Okay. So it will ask you to save. If you want to save it, so you will press yes, Y. Or if you don't want to save it, you will press N. But you want to save it, so you will press Y. Just press Y. Y.
Yeah, I did. The letter
Just
Y.
small Y. Can you just press Y again?
See this way it's showing up. The Y.
Remove it. Remove it. Okay. Hit enter. Hit enter. Yes. Type Y.
Okay.
So once you press Control X and then you press Y, so it means it will save and exit. If you will press Control X and if you'll say N, so it will not save the file and it will exit. Now cat whatever was there in the students.txt file, just cat into it. Now type ls. See, we at that time it took Y in the last, so it's txty. Just do cat student.txty. No, hit up arrow key again. Yeah, and add Y in the last. And
What you mean?
yeah. So I've pressed shortcuts of this also. Okay. So whatever. Now let's clear the screen. Okay. Now let's say I want to create a file, but right now I don't want to write it. I don't want to open this file, right? I want to just create an empty file. For that, you will use touch command. touch. Type touch and space any file name. Let's say test.txt, whatever. .txt. Hit enter. Now type ls. You see test.txt. The file has been created. Now, if you want to open that particular file with any text editor, if you want to use VI, if you want to use VIM, if you want to use nano, just type it and type the name of the file. Okay, so this particular file will be opened for the writing inside it. Okay, so that is the basic information of, we can say, our text editors. Okay, now can you exit from this panel? Anyone has any question? Nana, Leslie, Tajuddin, anyone till now? Joseph, anyone has any question?
For me, I
Let's
think the only
Mhm.
my only worry right now is to navigate like from the first to the end and up and down. But I think after watching the video again, I'll be able to do it. That's the only thing. It's not
Yes.
really sinking right now, but I think I'll get it when I go through the video.
Okay. Okay. So these are the three things which we have understood via text editor.
Okay,
But
and
anyone,
I
yeah,
wanted us to clarify that quickly. Okay, so the text editors we've looked at are VI, we have Nano, and we have
yeah,
Vim,
yeah,
and we also have Touch.
yeah,
So um, let's. I think the distinguishing features between all of them, I'm a little lost. I know that Touch creates an empty file,
yeah,
and of course it has to have the TXT.
yeah,
With VI, which also the name with the TXT, that
hmm,
also creates a file that you have to get in there and
okay,
then insert and then start writing stuff in there.
okay,
Can we distinguish between Nano, as far as Nano, when you go
yeah,
in
yeah,
there, you don't put insert. As far as Nano is concerned, you go in there, you don't put insert, type in.
okay. So the
But
biggest
Vim
difference,
and VI,
yeah, Vim and VI are the same. VI is the old version and Vim is the improved version of VI. Okay, but the difference between Nano and a VI is Vim or VI command is a mode-based text editor. Now, what is this mode-based text editor? Anyone? because we have two different type of mode. If you want to write inside it, you have to go to insert mode. If you want to get out, exit out of this, so that is a command mode where you are actually typing the commands, right? Hello.
Yes.
So do you agree?
Yes.
Because when we open it, the file is like in the normal mode. So if you want to write inside it, what you will do, you will press I. So now you are into the insert mode. Now if you want to get out of that insert mode and you want to move to the command mode, that you can provide some commands to that editor. So you will hit escape and you will get to the command mode. But just like the Nano is a, we can say, model-less text editor. It does not have any separate modes for different, we can say, tasks. In VI we have, if you want to save and exit, we have to go to the command mode, press colon WQ. Here we don't have any other mode, insert mode, anything. You open it, you directly start writing it, right? And we can say the menus, like the help bar is there in the, we can say, Nano command. In the bottom, you would have seen so many things like that. Okay, so that's the only difference between VI and Nano. That okay, the Nano is a mode based, and this is a particular. The VI is the mode based, and this Nano is a model less. So that's the only difference which you can have, and we can say these are the two different text editors. You can get more deeper into anything, whatever you want to be more proficient in. Let's suppose if you want to go to the VI, right? So it has a very, we can say, steep learning curve due to its mode-based nature and lack of on-screen help. So there is no help which VI provides. But Nano has a greater, we can say, learning curve because of its, we can say, model-less interface and non-screen help. It will, we can say, it will help you when we can you open the nano test.txt? Can you type nano test.txt?
Oh.
Okay. So in the bottom, you will see these are the five, we can say, help it is showing. But let me tell you one thing. Okay, press Control C, Control X, sorry, Control X. Yeah. So now let me clarify one thing. But the editing capabilities. So VI offers powerful and advanced editing capabilities. Okay, but here this Nano provides only basic text editing capabilities. Okay, so you will see when people, you will see people working, right? So they will have, we can say, what I'm saying, they will be using in the organizations, all the people mostly using VI text editors because VI is very powerful and you can perform so many tasks. There are so many shortcuts. In starting, it feels little overwhelmed, but in the end, it gets easier. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Now, can you stop sharing your screen? Just a second. Okay. So now text editors we understood. Then we understood two text editors, how to create an empty file, right? That we have understood. Okay. Now let me share my screen. Okay. So I hope my text this editor is available. Screen. I think it got fused. But I hope you guys are able to see my screen, right?
Yes, you're good.
Yes.
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 Ah, I don't have to. It's okay like this.
Wait a minute. It's frozen. I'll open the terminal again. Okay. Now, if I see here ls, I'll go inside my file folder, and I see here I have this class.txt. So if I press ll or if I press ls, the difference is only with ls command I'm able to see what files are available. But ll, or we can say if you can use ll, or if you say ls hyphen la, sorry, ls hyphen al and you'll say ls hyphen lrt. So it is executing, but in a different formats. It is executing the same type of command, right? So it shows the file type, right? Everything is there, right? So now, what is the difference between L hyphen R, this LRT, and this hyphen AL? You see here, it represents the hidden file also hyphen AL, but hyphen LRT says that okay, there are total 4 files, right? But here we have the in hyphen ART we have the whole thing. Okay. Now let's clear out the screen and let us understand. If I do LL, so I see the class.txt and the time is 1:15. So if I say date here, so according to my this Linux system, before before 30 minutes, I created this file. Okay, so I want to just change the timestamp of this file, and I don't want to write anything or open this file. How can I do it? Anyone? Joseph, Nana, everyone, did you understood what I'm trying to say actually?
Not
Even John.
really.
Okay. So let's say there is a time for this file. The time is known as creation of file, right? When did you created this particular file, or when did you last entered anything inside the file? Okay, 14th August, right? No, sorry, 1st August, right? You have tried to enter something into this particular file. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to change the timing. That okay, the editing time should be of now, or we can say modified time should be now. Let's suppose right now the time is 146. So I want to display 146 here. How can I do it? So the touch command not only creates, we can say, empty files, but for files which are already present, it changes the timestamp also for them. Let's say class.txt. If I hit enter, okay. So now if I do ll, see the current time was 147. I think it got changed. Okay. So it's the 147 time. I did not open the file. I did not write anything inside the file, and there is nothing like it created a new file. The data is still there, but it changed the timestamp that okay, yes, the modifications have been done in this time. So to change the metadata of a file also of a time or something for any use case, if we have to use this condition, so we use the touch command to change the timestamp of the file and
A
change
quick
as
que-
it.
a
Yeah.
quick question. I'm a little
Yeah.
confused. Normally, I know to use the touch command, you use it to
Okay.
create a file. So
Yeah.
if you already have a file and you use the
Yeah.
ll command and you're already
Yeah.
inside the file, so if you
Yeah.
still use the touch, it means it's going to replicate the file with the recent date, or it's going to create another one.
No, no. Okay. So let's suppose if you don't have any file, let's do ls simply. I have class.txt. Okay. If I do touch harsh.txt, so it will create an empty file. This is ls. If I run the same command again, just a second, ll, and I say date. Okay. So at 148, I created harsh.txt. So now if I run the touch harsh.txt command again, so it will not create new file. It will just update the timestamp. So now if I do ll, so you see the file, the time was still 148. That's why it has done it. Just a second. Now the time is 148, still 148, still 148. Okay, the time is 149. So if I run the file touch harsh.txt now and I do ll, so here I can see the timestamp has been updated. So if you already have the file, if you run the touch command with this, so it will change the access time. That okay, last time when somebody accessed the file will be the present time when you have run this touch command. I hope you guys understood.
Good now. I'm good.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. So let's say, but Harsh, I want to change time according to my preference. Specific time I have to set. Then you have to say touch hyphen T. Then you give any date like 2024 01, okay, 31, and then this 12 hours, right? So this is the time, and I'll say harsh.txt. So now if I do ll, so here you can see January 31st, right? At 12, you created this file. See, how can we actually fake this also? That I created file in back time, even when the Linux was not created, but still I can modify the time of this particular file just using hyphen T, which is the specific, we can say, timing. And this is the timestamp which we follow. Okay. Let me paste it here in the chat. So this is how you specify. CCYY means the full year. You can type 2024, then month 01, whatever, then date. Let's suppose 31st we have written. In timings in R, let's suppose 1200, it means 1200, and then in dot seconds means seconds, whatever time you want to put. Okay. Yes, Joseph, please tell me.
Yes, so with this, it should be in the hands of administrative users, right? Because especially if you have logs that you don't want anybody tampering with, they can be having this tool in your hand.
Yes, so that's an administrator's task only. But why are we able to do it on this
Okay.
file? Because the creation of this file is done by the EC2 user only. So the owner of this
Okay.
file is EC2 user only. So you don't need administrator permission. Let's suppose there are two users. There is Joseph, there is Harsh on the same Linux. So Harsh cannot perform the same task on Joseph's file, and Joseph cannot perform the same task on Harsh's file until they don't have the administrator access. Okay. Hope you are able to understand, Joseph.
Yes, it makes sense.
Okay. So now we have understood that how to change the timestamp, how what time stamp means, right? Now let's say there are two files, so there should be some disk utilization also. How many of you understand disk utilization? That there are two files, so they might be taking some sort of storage from my hard disk, right? So if I have to see how much in this folder, let's suppose in this folder I am in right now. So inside this folder, how many files are there? So I check ls, or I can use tree command. So I see there are two files. There are no directories. So what I'll do is I want to check what are the size of these two files, okay? Or if let's suppose if we had 100 files, how can I check for everyone, right? I'll say du disk usage hyphen h. H is the we can say format which we understand. 4.0 KB. This directory consists of 4.0 KB. Okay. Total storage 4, and if you want to check the specified one, right? So see here, this one is 14 bytes, this one is 0. So it turns out to total 4 KB. See, class.txt is the 4 KB. If I say harsh.txt, so it says this is a 0 KB. Harsh.txt is 0 KB because there is no data inside harsh. Okay. So to check the storage, you use the du-h command. I will paste into the chat. Okay. So these are the basic commands. You can watch the recording and you can understand these things. Okay. But focus on these points. So what do you understand by these points? Paste it into the chat also. I'll paste here in the WhatsApp as well. So what this line specifies?
Permission.
Permission. But the permission part is still here. What do we call this thing?
That the owner and the
Yes,
group. Yeah.
owner. We call it ownership. Who owns the file and who owns the group permissions? And this is the actually file permissions. Read, write, execute. There are, we can say three types of permissions: read, write, and execute. Let's say .txt. I have R, W, and X.
It's
Okay, and the permission that dash looks like this: one dash, then we have three, one time three, and 1, 2, 3. So this is how the permissions look like. So if you have seen, this is how it used to look. So there is written RW, but there is one block left. There is R and dash dash. Then we have R and dash dash. Okay. So now let's remove the U, whatever we don't need. Okay. So this is what we need. This is hyphen RW and RR, right? So we have three types of permission. But you will say, Harsh, there are 3, 3, 9, 10 dashes. So what these 10 dashes mean? The first dash will always specify if the given we can say file or a file is a folder or a file. Whatever we are looking at is a file or a folder. To check that, if in the starting it is written D, it means it is directory. If the first dash is equals to dash, it means it is a file. Okay, so now we understand what this first one will denote. If this is just a dash, it means it's a file. If there is D written, so we will understand it is a directory. But now what about these remaining 9? Let's suppose if we divide this thing R, W, then dash, then we have R dash dash, then we have R dash dash. So these are the 3 types of permissions involved here. So what does that mean? The first 3 permissions will denote user permissions. Okay, the first one denotes user permission. Group permissions,
Others.
others. Okay, so now what this particular permissions, how does this help, right? It helps in a way that if user has a permission, user means whoever created the file, whoever is the owner of that file. Let's suppose right now we were using ec2-user, so ec2-user is the owner. So that's why the user has read and write permission. But the group is also attached. The group is also named ec2-user. So in that group, whatever amount of users are there, all of them can read. But if you don't have either here in the group, or if you don't have a user, but the multiple, let's suppose Harsh is the owner of a file. So Harsh has the user permission. It means he can write and read. I have Joseph and Tajuddin. I have added both of them into this group so that whatever permissions will be assigned to the group, that particular permissions will also be inherited to the Joseph and Tajuddin as well. And in other users means whatever other users like Nana is there, Leslie is there, Kapil is there, XYZ amount of users are there. So they will have the read permission. But I felt that okay, Harsh should have the full permission. He should be able to read, he should be able to write, he should be able to execute. Okay, but Joseph and the Tajuddin also, they should be read and they should be write. They don't. I don't want to allow them to use the we can say uh, execute permissions, and others only can read the file. Nothing else. Hope you understand the use case of this particular file. So what does this read, write, and execute? Read means you can see the file. Inside the file, what are the things which is written, or what do you have inside a file? So that's a read permission. Write permission, you have proper permissions to write inside that particular file. Execute, let's suppose if you have written some script, if you have written some code, so if you want to execute that code, you can execute it as well because you have the execute permissions as well. But let's say Nana and Leslie, they don't have the permissions to write and execute. They can't open a file and write inside it, and they can't execute the file also, right? So these are the permissions. So how do we change the permissions in Linux? How we do it? So we use the command chmod. Okay, to change the permission, we use chmod. Now I told you user, I told you group, I told you execute. Sorry, the others. So these are the 3 people who has permissions. Then we have read, write, execute permissions, right? So what you can do, let's suppose to this user, you don't have the execute permission. So I want to give the execute permission. So I will say u means user, plus means add a permission. What permission? Execute permission. So you will say x, and then give the name of the file. Let's say class.txt. So now the class.txt file, the user, ec2-user will have execute permission. So let's suppose, let's go out. Okay. So this harsh.txt file, it doesn't have execute permission, right? And I'll tell you one more difference. Okay. Now I do LL. This is a directory. Let's suppose if something doesn't show the color, you look at the first location. It says D. D means it is a directory. If we have a dash in the starting, that specifies that it is a file. It is not a folder. It is a file. That is clear. Then we have read, write, execute permissions to this folder. Then we have read and execute to the group, and read and execute permissions to other users. Okay. But here, what I want to do is, let's suppose harsh.txt, I want to give execute permission. So what command I use, guys?
chmod.
Okay, chmod. Now the first 3 stands for
That's
who
user.
has user. So I want to specify that user should have, we can say, execute permission.
X.
And you will, yeah, and you will say which file you want to give this permission. So you will say harsh.txt. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now I hit enter, and I compare the here harsh.txt rw dash, here rwx. See what the difference is. Harsh got the execute permission, so the color also got changed. So whatever file is executable, it will turn the color green. Okay. Now let's say I want to give the execute permissions to group as well. So I will say G plus execute permission to hush.txt. If I do ln, I think something got wrong. Can you hear me? Right? So yes, you can see if I do ln here now. So this rwx r hyphen x. So my group also has the execute permission. Correct? Now I want to remove the execute permission for the user again. How can I do it?
Put minus instead of plus.
Yes,
Put
that's
ch
correct. Chmod u, and now to add a permission you
minus
use plus, to remove a permission you use minus. So I will say
x.
minus x arch.txt. If I do ll, so now you see only the group has executable permission. I want to remove that as well. I will say chmod u, sorry, g minus x arch.txt. Now see the file permissions. No, nothing, nothing. Here rw permissions. Understandable? Anyone has any question? Joseph, Leslie, Nana?
Yes, I do have a question. So when we see if you can show your screen, your console, we
Yeah,
have we have we have a user, we have a group, and then we have
others.
others. Okay, good, got it.
Yeah. Okay. So user means whatever user permission, whatever user is has the ownership of this file. So this is the user. So means you EC2 hyphen user. What is the group? EC2 hyphen user is a group. So now let's say if I check ID EC2 hyphen user. So yes, that is a user and that is a group also. This is EC2 hyphen user. So inside this user is attached to the owner of this file is EC2 hyphen user, and the group is EC2 hyphen user. Let's suppose I create a user Joseph and I add that user Joseph inside this group. So you will also have the same permissions like this. These three permissions you will have. But whatever remaining users are there, they can only read. They can't perform anything here. Okay. Okay, Joseph.
Okay, okay.
And for you guys to understand it properly, I've pasted here in the chat also. I will paste in the WhatsApp as well so that you guys can understand and keep
Okay.
up with whatever we require. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay. I hope everybody is practicing. I hope Joseph, after class, you at least give 30 minutes to yourself to learn all these things.
Yep, we'll do.
Weasley, Nana, and Tajuddin, I expect same from everyone. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. From tomorrow, we are going to start with Bash scripting, how to write scripts in Linux, shell scripting, because now we all know the basic of we can say writing into file, using file, right? So we are going to learn tomorrow about the shell scripting. How can we automate these tasks using the Linux? Because now we know how to write into a file, how to change permissions. So that is the basic requirement for learning shell script. Okay. So tomorrow we will learn how to automate any sort of task.
Okay.